Hi everyone and welcome back to another episode of Dan Studios, where we bring you the latest news in a short and informative format, and of course in the comfort of a studio. Now, in order to comply with the government's wishes, we here at Dan Studios have decided to self-isolate and to work from home, which is why, as everybody can see, we are still recording this show in my living room and not in the studio. Well, it's official. It's actually here. I didn't think it would actually get to this point, even though I knew it was going to eventually happen. I had hoped that some kind of miracle would occur and we wouldn't have to be able to go through this thing once again. But now, millions and millions of Victorians' lives are about to drastically change again, with the new coronavirus orders coming into effect, around 2 days ago. Are you ready? Is everybody sitting down? Okay, let's everyone take a deep breath. So calm down a little bit. Take a little deep breath. In a peace. The metropolitan Melbourne and Mitchell Shire area are now re-entering lockdown.
Millions of people across Greater Melbourne and Mitchell Shire are tonight bracing for the start of the new lockdown, now just a few hours away. And that's after the third consecutive triple-digit daily rise in people testing positive for coronavirus. There were 134 new cases in Victoria today. 11 are linked to known outbreaks, but contact tracers are still trying to find the origins of more than 120 of those cases. There are now a total of 75 cases in Melbourne's locked down public housing towers. And the testing blitz is continuing. The state has now conducted more than 1 million tests since the start of the pandemic. Residents across the Greater Melbourne area are again being warned they'll be fined for breaking lockdown rules. Bridget Rollerson reports.
Welcome to Lockdown City.
It won't be an absolute ring of steel, but there's going to be a significant police presence.
From midnight tonight, a hard border will be in place around Greater Melbourne and the Mitchell Shire, and hundreds of police, along with the Army, will be cracking down.
If you don't have a reason to leave, you'll be turned back around. If someone breaches those guidelines and leaves when they shouldn't, you'll receive an infringement, $1,652.
But business owners are counting their dollars. Some have only just reopened their doors.
For the business, obviously, having to shut the doors, it is a big hit financially.
We are on JobKeeper. We've taken on some stuff, and I think, based on where we are at the moment, we might have to stand them down again.
That's why JobKeeper, JobSeeker and the next package of support that we will very soon announce are so important.
Once again, supermarkets are working to keep up stock levels by limiting product purchases. Victoria now has 860 active cases. Nearly 300 of those are in the Hume and Wyndham areas. There are more than 100 in the city, while there are now no active cases in the Mornington Peninsula, but it's still included in the lockdown.
Alright, we're back. But the new lockdown laws are going to be a little bit different than the ones we saw in the last one. Now, you will still be able to go to work if you need to and are unable to work from home. You are still able to go shopping for the things you need and when you need them. So this means there are no panic buying. You are still able to and still allowed to go to the supermarket and buy your weekly groceries instead of stocking up for a whole month, which is just plain bizarre. Now, you will also be able to leave your house to either go and provide care or to get care. So that's good. Now, daily exercise is the one that's going to be a little bit different and is probably the one thing that people are interested in the most, as daily exercise is extremely important, especially when you are stuck at home all day, every hour, every minute, every second. Now, you can no longer leave the metropolitan Melbourne area to get your exercise. What does this mean? This means that you won't be able to go on a 4-hour bushwalk that is hundreds and hundreds of kilometers away from Melbourne. Also, there are a number of low-risk activities that will be permitted that were not permitted last time, which is a good sign. So you might be able to go out for a golf game on the weekend, minding that you keep it to the restriction number. You can probably go for a walk in your local park, not in a park that's an hour or 2 hour away drive, your local park. So there are still ways you can still get your daily exercise needs. Now, the new restrictions will last up to 6 weeks. 6 weeks. That's a long restriction period. But based on what the chief health officer has said, it's kind of making sense. Simply saying that 3 weeks is not enough data, as the life cycle of the virus is around 14 days, meaning that within 6 weeks, it will give the government 3 whole cycles of the virus's lifetime to generate enough data to then decide whether or not it is the right time to move forward and how the decisions they make will probably be impacted. Now, this is a good idea. I think this is a good, safe idea that the government is taking. Now, I know that being stuck in isolation and being stuck in lockdown is not a popular idea. I know that people don't enjoy spending every single day inside their homes, especially since they have to. They don't like the idea of being controlled. I understand that. I hate it as well. But you have to look at it in a futuristic tense, as if we don't have the isolation for this long of a period and we end the isolation too early, we could potentially have a third wave of coronavirus infections, and we could eventually come back to going back into isolation and lockdown again. And honestly, I'd rather have one really long isolation than to go in and out and in and out and in and out of lockdown constantly, which I think is a pain in the ass to just keep going in and out. I'd rather just put up with it for the long run. I'd rather have one long continuous lockdown, get everything over and done with, and then we can then move on with our lives. We can get out of here and live our lives peacefully without having to worry about no stupid disease floating around that could kill us in 14 days. Don't you guys agree? So as a constant reminder, we want to continue to remind everyone the coronavirus is still a very, very serious issue. It's still floating around us. It's still out there in the public. We need to be aware of it. We need to be compliant with what the government is asking us, as social distancing continues to prove to be the best weapon against the virus. We need to be understanding that for the next couple of months, life is going to be tough, you know? We've endured the worst. We've gotten back to normal, and now we're going back to enduring the worst again. But if we put up with it and we follow the rules, we won't have to put up with it ever again. It's gone. It's gone, you know? Remember to always avoid crowded areas and always maintain a good level of hygiene. Always remember to wash your hands after everything. Remember to hand sanitize your hands if you're in public and you're touching everything, you know, and you have no option to wash your hands. Hand sanitize. Very important. Kill them germs. And always remember, wear a face mask. I highly suggest wearing a face mask. It's super important, you know? You can wear a face mask if you need to. I definitely suggest wearing a face mask. You know, maybe the next episode I'll wear a face mask for the whole episode. See how that sees. Stop spread through camera. I don't know that works that way. Now, please remember to subscribe, punch that like button, and share our content, as we know it is a tough time for everyone. Here at Dan Studios, we want to continue to provide everyone with great content, as well as keeping everyone informed of what's going on in the world, of the latest information, and obviously different opinions, and obviously a positive side to the way we live life at the moment, because I know there's a lot of negativity going around at the moment, and everyone needs a little bit of push. They need a little bit of that push to push them up in their life and to go towards the good stuff, like my channel. I'm your host, Dan. See you guys next time. Have a lovely weekend. See you guys in the next episode. Have a good one. Bye, everyone.